Social media regulation and free speech, a complex balancing act. Introduction. In the digital age, social media platforms have become central to communication, information dissemination, and social interaction. However, their pervasive influence has sparked significant debate over how to regulate these platforms without infringing on free speech. The balance between ensuring a safe, respectful online environment and preserving the fundamental right to free expression is a complex and evolving challenge. The role of social media platforms. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram allow users to share content, connect with others, and engage in public discourse. They have democratized information sharing, giving a voice to millions who previously lacked a platform. However, this openness also facilitates the spread of misinformation, hate speech, and harmful content. The need for regulation. 1. Misinformation and fake news. The spread of false information can have serious consequences, including public health risks, e.g., anti-vaccine misinformation, and undermining democratic processes, e.g., election interference. 2. Hate speech and cyberbullying. Harmful speech and behavior online can lead to real-world consequences, including mental health issues and violence. Social media platforms have struggled to effectively moderate this content. 3. Data privacy. Social media companies collect vast amounts of personal data, raising concerns about user privacy and data protection. Incidents like the Cambridge Analytica scandal highlight the potential for misuse of this data. 4. Market dominance. A few large companies dominate the social media landscape, raising concerns about monopolistic practices and the need for antitrust regulations. Challenges of regulation. 1. Defining harmful content. One of the biggest challenges is defining what constitutes harmful or unacceptable content. Standards vary widely across cultures and legal systems. 2. Censorship and free speech. Regulating content inevitably raises concerns about censorship. Determining the boundary between protecting users and infringing on free speech is contentious and complex. 3. Jurisdictional issues. Social media platforms operate globally, but laws vary by country. This creates challenges in enforcement and compliance with local regulations. 4. Technical feasibility. Implementing effective content moderation at scale is technically challenging. Automated systems can struggle with context, while manual moderation is resource-intensive. Approaches to regulation. 1. Self-regulation. Some argue that platforms should self-regulate, using community guidelines and internal moderation systems. However, critics claim that self-regulation is often inadequate and inconsistent. 2. Government regulation. Governments can impose laws to regulate social media. This can include requirements for transparency, accountability, and content moderation. However, overly stringent laws risk stifling free speech and innovation. 3. Hybrid approaches. Combining self-regulation with government oversight can provide a balanced approach. For example, the European Union's Digital Services Act aims to increase transparency and accountability while protecting users' rights. Case studies. 1. United States. The First Amendment protects free speech, making direct government regulation challenging. Instead, Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act provides platforms with immunity from liability for user-generated content, while allowing them to moderate in good faith. 2. European Union. The EU has taken a more regulatory approach, with the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, imposing strict data privacy requirements and the Digital Services Act aiming to enhance accountability and transparency in content moderation. 3. China. China represents a highly regulated environment, with strict government controls over social media content to prevent dissent and control public discourse. The impact on free speech. 1. Chilling effect. Overregulation can lead to a chilling effect, where fear of penalties stifles legitimate expression. Platforms might over-censor to avoid liability, suppressing free speech. 2. Selective enforcement. there is a risk of selective enforcement, where rules are applied inconsistently, potentially targeting specific groups or viewpoints. 3. Innovation and growth. Excessive regulation can stifle innovation and hinder the growth of new platforms, reducing diversity and competition in the social media landscape. Conclusion. Regulating social media is a complex but necessary endeavor to ensure a safe, respectful, and informative online environment. Achieving the right balance between regulation and free speech requires nuanced policies that consider the global nature of these platforms, the diversity of user bases, and the need to protect fundamental rights. Ongoing dialogue between governments, tech companies, and civil society is crucial to developing frameworks that uphold both safety and freedom in the digital age.